Every morning at exactly 6:15, before the city fully woke up, a tired man with hollow eyes stood outside a small roadside tea stall, holding a paper cup in one hand and his son's tiny fingers in the other. He didn't know it yet, but one ordinary act of kindness repeated every morning was silently rewriting his fate. Some miracles don't arrive with thunder or light. Some walk in quietly, wearing worn clothes, carrying unbearable pain, and hiding a destiny no one could imagine. Ayan Malik was 35, but life had carved lines into his face that made him look much older. His wife had died 3 years earlier from a sudden illness, leaving him alone with their 6-year-old son, Ibrahim. From that day on, Ayan's life became a cycle of survival. Wake up before sunrise. Prepare Ibrahim for school. Walk him to the bus stop. Go to work at a warehouse where his back ached and his pride was constantly tested. Come home exhausted. Sleep. Repeat. There were no dreams anymore, only responsibilities. Every rupee mattered. Some nights, Ayan went to bed hungry so his son could eat properly. Some mornings, he pretended not to be tired so Ibrahim wouldn't worry. He had learned how to smile while his heart stayed heavy. He had learned how to be strong because there was no other choice. Near the bus stop where Ibrahim waited every morning, there sat a woman. She appeared one cold morning, wrapped in an old shawl, sitting quietly on the edge of the pavement. She never begged. Never spoke loudly. Never approached anyone. She simply sat there, eyes lowered, hands folded, as if she was waiting for time itself to pass. Most people walked by without noticing her. Some noticed and quickly looked away. A few muttered judgments under their breath. Ayan noticed her because she reminded him of something familiar. Loneliness. The first morning he saw her shivering, he hesitated. He checked his wallet. Only enough money for tea and a cheap breakfast. He could have ignored her like everyone else. Life had taught him how easy that was. But something inside him didn't allow it. He bought an extra cup of tea and placed it gently beside her before stepping back. No words. No expectation. Just a small nod. The woman looked up, surprised, her eyes reflecting a gratitude too deep to explain. She whispered a quiet thank you, barely audible. The next morning, he did the same. And the morning after that. Slowly, it became routine. A cup of tea. Sometimes a piece of bread. Sometimes a warm smile. Ibrahim began to notice too. He would wave at the woman before boarding the bus, his innocent kindness lighting up her tired face. She started waiting for them, not for the food, but for the feeling of being seen. They never exchanged names. They never shared stories. Yet, in that silent space between them, something human and healing was happening. Ayan didn't know where the woman came from. He didn't ask why she was there every morning. He didn't try to fix her life. He simply treated her like she mattered. And for the woman, who had lost almost everything, that small consistency was the only thing keeping her from breaking completely. What Ayan didn't know was that the woman sitting on the pavement was fighting a battle far bigger than poverty. Her name was Zara Hayat. Once, she had been the CEO of a powerful multinational company. She had boardrooms, assistants, security teams, and a life of luxury. But success had come with enemies. When she refused to sign fraudulent deals and expose corruption within her own company, powerful people turned against her. False cases were filed. Her assets were frozen. Her identity was dragged through the media. She was forced into hiding while her legal team fought to clear her name. To survive unnoticed, she had to disappear completely. She cut off all ties. Changed her appearance. Lived with nothing. Slept where no one would look twice. The woman the world once feared and respected had become invisible. But invisibility came with a different kind of pain. Each morning, as Zara sat at the bus stop pretending to be just another forgotten soul, the kindness of a stranger and his son became her anchor. Ayaan didn't know her past. He didn't need to. To him, she was simply someone cold and alone. Weeks passed. Then months. One morning, rain poured heavily. The city moved faster, colder. Zara sat soaked, her shawl useless against the downpour. Ayaan arrived later than usual, already late for work. He looked at her and without thinking, removed his own jacket and placed it around her shoulders. Ibrahim looked up at him. "Papa, you'll be cold." Ayaan smiled softly. "She needs it more today." Zara's hands trembled as she held the jacket. That simple gesture broke something inside her. Not because of the jacket, but because no one had chosen her comfort over their own in a very long time. That night, Zara cried for the first time in months. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. The next morning, Ayaan didn't see her. He waited. The bus came and left. The tea got cold. She didn't appear. For the first time, the corner felt empty. Ayaan told himself she had probably found somewhere else to go. He tried not to think about it. 3 days passed. Then on the fourth morning, as Ayaan stood at the same spot, something strange happened. Black cars pulled up quietly along the road. Men in sharp suits stepped out first, scanning the area. Then 4 large bodyguards followed, their presence impossible to ignore. People slowed down. Whispers spread. The small tea stall owner froze. Ayaan felt his heart race. From the center car, a woman stepped out. She walked confidently, her posture straight, her presence commanding. She wore elegant clothes, her hair neatly styled, her face calm but powerful. It took Ayaan a few seconds to recognize her eyes. They were the same eyes. The woman from the pavement. Zara walked toward him, each step heavy with meaning. Her lawyers stood behind her, silent and respectful. The bodyguards kept their distance. Ayaan stood frozen, unsure whether to run or speak. Zara stopped in front of him. Her eyes filled with tears. She bent down slightly, not as a powerful woman, but as a grateful human being. She placed the jacket, the same one he had given her, back into his hands. "This jacket saved me more than you know," her voice trembled. Ayaan couldn't speak. She took a deep breath and continued, her voice steady now. She told him everything. Who she was. What she had lost. Why she had disappeared. How his kindness had kept her alive when she was on the edge of giving up. "I had money once," she said softly. "But I had never felt humanity like I felt sitting here with you and your son." Ibrahim stepped forward and hugged her without hesitation. That moment shattered every wall Zara had built. Her lawyers explained that the case was over. Her name was cleared. Her power restored. And she had come back for one reason only. To repay a debt that money could never fully cover. Within weeks, Ayaan's life changed in ways he never imagined. Zara ensured he received a stable job with fair hours and respect. Ibrahim's education was fully secured. Ayaan was given a home, not as charity, but as dignity returned. But the greatest gift wasn't financial. It was the belief that his small, unnoticed kindness mattered. Years later, Ayaan still stood at that same bus stop every morning. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. He helped others the same way he once helped Zara, quietly, consistently, without expecting miracles. Because he had learned something powerful. You don't need to be rich to change someone's life, life rarely changes in one loud moment. Sometimes, it changes quietly, after the applause fades and everyone goes back to their own lives. For Ayaan Malik, the day Zara Hayat returned with lawyers and bodyguards felt unreal, like a dream stitched into an ordinary morning. But the days that followed taught him that miracles don't end at rescue, they begin at responsibility. Ayaan moved into the small, clean apartment Zara arranged for him and Ibrahim. It wasn't luxury, but it felt like safety. Real beds. A kitchen that smelled of fresh food instead of worry. A door that locked, not to keep danger out, but to let peace stay in. For the first few nights, Ayaan barely slept. He kept waking up, afraid everything would vanish by morning. Ibrahim adjusted faster than his father. Children often do. He laughed more. He spoke about school with excitement instead of fear. He started drawing pictures again, pictures of buses, teacups, and a woman smiling at a bus stop. Ayaan watched his son heal in ways he hadn't known were possible, and each smile felt like forgiveness for all the nights he had blamed himself for not being enough. Zara kept her distance at first. Not out of pride, but respect. She didn't want Ayaan to feel owned, controlled, or obligated. Everything she offered came with choice. When she invited him to work at one of her companies, she made it clear he could refuse. When she offered educational support for Ibrahim, she asked permission, not gratitude. That difference mattered. Ayaan accepted the job, not because of money alone, but because Zara treated him like a man with value, not a charity case. He started working in logistics management, a role that surprised even him. For the first time, people listened when he spoke. His experience, once ignored, was suddenly respected. But success brought a new struggle. Guilt. Every morning, as Ayaan drove instead of walking, he passed the same bus stop. He saw new faces sitting where Zara once sat, tired eyes, folded hands, invisible people. His chest tightened each time. A voice inside him whispered that he had escaped while others were still trapped. One evening, after Ibrahim fell asleep, Ayaan sat alone in the living room, holding the old jacket. The same jacket that had once warned a powerful woman pretending to be nothing. He realized something important then. Zara had changed his circumstances. But kindness had changed his character. The next morning, Ayaan parked his car and walked to the bus stop. He bought extra tea. Extra bread. He sat beside a man who hadn't been seen by anyone all day. No speeches. No announcements. Just presence. Soon, it became routine again. But this time, people noticed. Some joined him. A tea stall owner started offering discounted cups. A bus driver left leftover food. Small acts began collecting, quietly forming something bigger than charity, community. Zara watched all this from a distance. One afternoon, she visited the bus stop alone, without security. She stood where she once sat, blending in, remembering what it felt like to be unseen. When Ayaan noticed her, he smiled, not in awe, not in debt, but in equality. They talked for a long time that day. Not about money. Not about the past. But about loss. About fear. About how power without compassion is empty, and compassion without consistency fades. Zara admitted that before losing everything, she had helped people with checks and signatures, but never with time. I didn't know how to sit with pain, she confessed quietly. You taught me that. Ayaan shook his head. You reminded me that kindness isn't weakness. That conversation changed Zara too. Within months, she launched a foundation, not focused on donations, but dignity. Jobs instead of handouts. Education instead of pity. And she insisted Ayaan help remember the ground truth, that people don't need saving as much as they need to be seen. Years passed. Ibrahim grew taller. Stronger. Kinder. He never forgot the mornings at the bus stop. When asked what he wanted to be, his answer was simple. Someone who helps before being asked. On the anniversary of the day Zara disappeared and returned, they all stood at the same place, the bus stop that had quietly rewritten their lives. There were no cameras. No speeches. Just teacup steaming in the early morning light. Ayan looked around and understood something deeply. His life hadn't changed because he helped a rich woman. It changed because he helped a human being. And that is the part most people miss. So if you're listening to this story and wondering whether your small kindness matters, remember this. The world doesn't change because of power alone. It changes when ordinary people choose compassion on ordinary mornings. If this story moved you, carry it forward. Like the video. Subscribe to Silent Soul Stories. And tomorrow morning, when you see someone the world ignores, stop, even for a moment.